Nothing remains unpaid. Trigger warning, rape, violence. Sorry for any mistakes as English is not my first language. It's going to be a long post, I'm sorry. I'm crying as I write this cause I feel vulnerable, but I do not regret taking this revenge. I just couldn't get over this. Anytime I closed my eyes at night to sleep, it kept replaying in my head as if it happened all over again. It's been a year since my ex groped me one night. He called me one night drunk and not feeling well and needing a shoulder to cry on, and me having a soft spot for him. I took pity cause he sounded so hurt. We were on and off, me giving him too many chances always but him never changing and me still being stupid and forgiving him, and the cycle repeated. Yes, I'm stupid, but I just can't explain why I kept seeing him. But I couldn't even anticipate to believe the hell he was planning that night on putting me through after our last breakup, initiated by me telling him that it's always the same thing and I'm done. He was always gambling, even some of my money he gambled and never gave it back. I must mention he was never violent with me before, just this gambling addiction he had and the constant lies about anything, small or big. So, that one night he called me crying. I listened to him and told him he can come over to my place and we can speak more. I didn't live with my parents then, I was in a rented place. He arrived, he was drunk but still speaking clearly and holding himself well. He was upset about a new relationship and complained about the girl using him and losing a lot of money again gambling, but wouldn't say how she used him, or anything else. He was just upset about the relationship not working out and stuff like that. I just listened and nodded and suddenly he changed. I could see it in his eyes. He got up from the chair and started berating me. How I should have made more of an effort in our relationship and supported him more. That I was a bitch, that I dumped him because of his addiction. That I was a heartless whore, that I loved money more than him, but he liked and spent my dirty money. I no longer do sex work now cause I moved back in with my parents. That I have loving parents and him doesn't and was always alone, and that I didn't include him / move in our family he so much craved for. He is 27 male and I'm 26 female. We know each other from high school. He was in a kind of center. Sorry, English is not my first language. He did not have parents, he was abandoned young. And suddenly he started getting in my face, intimidating me. My dog, a small chihuahua which he was sick at the time with one of his eyes, started barking at him and pulling on his pants trying to protect me. He ignored my dog and my pleas to stop and back away and just get out. My heart beat like crazy and truly I was starting to get scared. He yanked me by my hair and dragged me into the bedroom and slapped and choked me. Told me while choking me he doesn't have anything to lose and he will kill me. Ripped my clothes off and raped me. My dog howled, I wailed and kept fighting back however I could by throwing things and yelling for him to get out. Nothing worked for him to stop. He violated me. Came in me knowing I did not want children. He wanted to impregnate me to punish me. I was hysterical. I felt so helpless. I couldn't call for help from my parents as he threw my phone on the floor away from him, and the neighbors didn't seem to care or even call the police even though it was a big ruckus. He even tried to harm my dog cause he was sick of the howling and me fighting back. I was scared he wanted to hurt my dog. He was already sick with his eye and suffering. So what did I do? I told him he could do whatever he wanted to me as long as he lets me lock my dog in his crate. He accepted. And honestly, I can't describe anymore what I went through as I feel like puking and my body trembling all over. After that he passed out cold sleeping and I took my dog out from the crate and searched and found my phone quietly and cried in the bathroom, locking myself in. I had mild bruises on my neck and my face a little red and my nose bleeding and my womanhood bleeding with semen leaking out. I felt disgusting. I was disgusting. I stood in the bathtub hugging my dog. In the morning he didn't want to leave, so I texted and told one of my clients to call and pretend to come over now. He heard me speaking in the bathroom and then he bolted. He stopped reaching out after that. That day I felt I was useless and disgusting. Kept washing myself raw. Took Plan B. It was my fault for telling him to come over. I kept repeating how it was all my fault. But did I really deserve all of this? Did I? For many nights I woke up scared, drenched in sweat and crying. I kept seeing all over again what happened. Blamed myself. I couldn't tell my parents. Started to avoid everyone. Stopped even sex work too, as I just couldn't do it anymore. But then it just clicked. Why do I have to keep suffering? So like a dog licking its wounds I was, and this is where the nuclear revenge started in my head and I started planning. I was enraged, betrayed, and started seeing red. No, I couldn't get over this. So I waited for him to reach out again like he always did, which he did a couple of days later. And from then on I will pay him back tenfold. I will give him everything he ever wanted the way he wanted, then take it all away. I was terrified of him still and pushed through. I put it all behind in my mind. We started talking again and I told him we can work things out and stuff like that. He was remorseful about what happened but said it was my fault too, but yes, let's try to get back together and finally be happy. To stop these childish antics. I was enraged but composed myself. I was still in the rented place at that time. We spoke through text, and as I was still scared of being alone with him, I gave up everything about that place and moved back in with my parents. I was no longer an escort. So I told him I moved back to my parents, and he was surprised and happy that I gave up escorting. I told him we can see each other again and that I gave it up for him. He was overjoyed. He came over to my parents' place. When I saw him again I felt like throwing up, but I pushed through so much I became numb and could tolerate him. It was as if I turned into a different person. It was like I transformed. My parents kept telling me it was always like this, us arguing and then getting back together. I just smiled and told them this time is going to be different. The tone and everything, they believed me, but they didn't see the pain and suffering behind my eyes. I didn't want anyone to see. I just wanted my revenge. I felt bad using my parents like that and lying to them that everything will be okay. So, in a few days I convinced them to let him move in with us and be like a family. My father worked with him, took him on the jobs he did. Construction, electricity, walls painting, air conditioning, all that stuff etc. Me and my mom don't work. We stay home and take care of the house, food. My father started to like him more. My mother treated him like a son too. I was acting like a true loving girlfriend. Everything was perfect, he was ecstatic. He even quit gambling. Even was affectionate with me, and I was numb and feeling sick almost all the time acting like that, but I knew his deepest desires and wanted to just crush them. I even pushed myself to have sex with him again, putting like a barrier in my mind and thinking of him like a simple client. I don't know how to explain, but I was seething but keeping myself in check. He was changed this time, and us living with my parents made him so happy. Meanwhile I was enraged, but I waited cause I knew it will not last long and my sweet revenge will come soon. Just a little more. Time slowly passed and yesterday marked the 1-year mark since the grief and suffering I endured. It started as the calm before the storm. He tried kissing me goodbye to go to work, but I turned my head and pushed him away, glaring at him. He looked very surprised but brushed it off and quietly left for work. Then at about 9 p.m. he came home from work along with my father, and I told all of them we need to talk. My mom and dad were confused, but soon all hell broke loose when I started to talk. They were horrified when they finally heard what happened 1 year ago. He was beat red and didn't have the courage to say anything. My parents screamed at him, how could he do that, and pretend my mom and dad were confused, but soon all hell broke loose when I started to talk. They were horrified when they finally heard what happened 1 year ago. He was beat red and didn't have the courage to say anything. My parents screamed at him, how could he do that, and pretend nothing happened and just live happily ever after with us. My mother started crying. My father was stoic but didn't say anything anymore. I felt awful about hurting them. The piece of shit was speechless and his mouth kept opening and closing, not knowing what to say, knowing I was right with everything I just said. But then, they were confused about why I chose to disclose this now. I looked into my ex's eyes, and without even a hint of remorse I began talking again. Did you love having a family? Did it feel good living with us and being loved, having always clean clothes, good food, any sex act you wanted, not being worried about getting evicted, and how carefree everything was? I will take it all back. Fuck you and get the fuck out of my life forever this time. Think twice before hurting a woman ever again, motherfucker. He was stunned along with my parents, but they agreed with me for him to leave. He then yelled, how could I been so cruel, and play with his heart. He demanded money cause he will be on the streets, as he really didn't have nowhere to go. I didn't want to give him any money, but my mom gave him a small amount as she couldn't take all the screaming and arguing anymore. My father told him to take the money and get the fuck out before he took a beating too. After he left, I just broke down. It was a mix of emotions. I finally had my revenge and it felt fucking liberating for me. My parents supported me, and I will soon go to therapy too cause I want to either way. I will put this behind me, but in my heart I'm truly happy I did this. He is now on the streets and reaching for a place to stay and rent. I was his karma before the true karma got to him. Edit, someone thought this is AI. I'm sorry, but I wrote exactly what happened to me and is not karma farming, or whatever what other people are thinking. You have to be a big piece of shit to write about the triggers warning I mentioned and profit off this, for what? Internet points? I don't understand. This is just my nuclear revenge regarding to what I had to endure.